Today is Chris Elliott with Remax Action Real Estate with your May real estate report. I apologize, I'm getting to you guys a little bit late this month. Been kind of crazy around here, but just a recap with some stats from this past April. Kind of the same story you guys are hearing in the news. You're seeing the local news. You're hearing the chatter. We're very much still in a very hot seller's market. Median days of inventory in April of 2017 was 12 days. End of month supply of inventory was only 2,800 homes. Month supply of inventory was down to 2.58 month supply of inventory. And inventory, new listings is actually down 8% from what it was April of last year, which April of last year was very much a hot seller's market. So very much still the case. What does this mean for you as a seller? It's still an amazing time to sell. What we are starting to see a little bit is a little bit of a creep of inventory this last month. We'll probably see a little bit more going into June. And what that is, what I would guess it is folks kind of hearing the news, hearing the chatter, and saying, hey, let's go ahead and sell the home now. What you're also going to see, too, as we see every year, is a lot of folks do wait till the summer to put the home on the market, wait till the kids get out of school. So we'll probably see a good influx of inventory in June. Will still be a tight inventory overall, but we will see it creep up a little bit. Kind of some advice for sellers is go ahead and get the property on the market now. We're kind of in spring, about to launch into summer, but if you look at it, historically the market does die down after the first week in September. So really, we're right there in the middle of things. Come June, July, or come July and August, we're going to be on the tail end of summer. So go ahead, don't wait any longer. Go ahead and get the property up and running. And then a little bit of kind of what we spoke about last month is don't ignore the fundamentals. Even though we're still in a hot seller's market, if a property is rough around the edges, if it needs a lot of upgrades, it's still going to sit. We're seeing that with a lot of properties is folks just throwing stuff up there thinking it will sell because we're in a great market, and those properties are still sitting there. Another thing that I'm going over with my clients too, when we're in a hot market like this and there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of showings of properties are selling quicker, you got to realize as a home seller with somebody that's on the market is we're going to have quicker feedback loops. And what I mean by that is typically where we might sit down after day 30 if a property hasn't sold and say, hey, we need to do something, we need to fix the property up, or we need to adjust the price. We're seeing more of that in the 2 to 3 week mark now, just because we're getting the activity, we're getting the showings, we're getting the feedback from the marketplace on a much quicker basis in this market. So those are my tips for sellers. For buyers, once again, my heart goes out to you. I know it's a very tough time to be buying a home right now. Rates are good, but it is tough. It's an aggressive market out there. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to make sure you've got your financing lined up. You've got your contingencies waived. In this market, you're probably not going to be able to purchase a home if you've still got to sell yours. And we're even seeing where folks have their homes under contract and they're still having a tough time going out there and finding stuff. So make sure you got your ducks in a row and just realize that in this market, this is not the market we're going to go out there and get the deal of a century. Right now, if you can go ahead and get a home, you've won the ball game. So hope that helps. We look forward to seeing you guys next month. I'll make sure we get this to you in a more timely fashion next month. And I hope you guys have a good Memorial Day weekend.